This show is brought to you in part by viewers like you who joined a Patreon or become YouTube members. Thank you. And if you could, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
I'm on here with TYVIS Powell. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns. We're having a good time. Let's talk about the Todd Monken hire, because you were one of the few people I saw on my timeline, to give credit to, that wasn't really like upset ever at the Todd Monken hire.
No.
What's your perspective on this about Todd Monken?
So I think a lot of people is so enamored with the young guy. You know, it was a lot of heat and smoke with Udinski and Shieldhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was, but the thing about those two is they're young, but the youngness don't get me. It's the inexperience. And I think when you look at the Browns situation, right, they're going to lose a lot of veterans this year, right, to free agency and stuff like that. And this team is, I'd say probably half or close to half of this team will be made up of first and second year players, rookies and guys that was just here last year for the first year, right? Those guys still don't know how to win in the NFL. Like, they just coming off of this losing season. You got rookies that need to be groomed in and understand what goes into winning in the NFL. You have to have a veteran coach in there that's done this. To me, I think Kevin was too lenient. I do. I think that he was too cool with the players as far as he let things slide. And it showed on Sundays. You talk about pre-snap penalties, you talk about turnovers, like things like that. That goes back to discipline. And I think having a veteran guy like Todd Monken, because everybody that talks about Todd Monken said he's a straight shooter, he tell it like it is and all of those things. I feel like that's what they need. They need one of those guys that's a dictator type guy. Like, this is the way we doing it. It ain't no you gonna do it your way and be cool. No. We doing it my way. Ain't no falling asleep in meetings, no late to team meeting, none of that. Like, this is what we doing. I think that you get guys to fall in line, especially when you're dealing with young guys. You got to get those guys to be developed quick, early, if you want to have some success. So I think, to me, the Todd Monken hire, the more that I go back between him and Schwartz, I think those is what you needed. I didn't necessarily think they would get the top candidates because I didn't think the job would be attractive enough to those guys. I didn't think that they would get a guy who's previously had 1 year of being a head coach, because they say in this league you get 2 opportunities to be a head coach. I didn't think that people would look at Cleveland like, yeah, I definitely want to use my last opportunity to be a head coach in Cleveland. Like, I don't think that it just didn't look right. And then when you're a first-time guy that's young, it's like, do I want to start my career off in Cleveland and knowing that I might the first year be behind the 8 ball, so now I only got another year to try to get that thing going? Like, to me, it didn't fit. So Todd Monken comes off as the guy that fits because of the fact that he's an older veteran guy. He's had some experience. He's had success in the college level, which I think is very important because you're going to be dealing with a lot of young guys. And he was able to go to Georgia, leave Georgia, go to the Ravens, and have immediate success for the first 2 years of offense. So you actually figured it out. I just think you can relate to the players a little bit more. You can look at those guys and say, hey, this is what I want you to do in the pros. We call it this, but I know you know it because at your college, they did this. So, like, it's just this in the pros. Like, I think that matters, the terminology. So to me, I think it's a really good hire when you sit back and look at it.
Yeah, I think the big thing about Todd is, one, you want to see somebody on their resume make a difference wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think with Todd, Georgia had that dynasty run while he was there. They won 2 of them?
Yes, they went back.
2 of them there. Georgia ain't been quite the same since he left, right?
Not at all.
They've struggled.
And he did it with what? Stetson Bennett. Who?
Yeah.
He's not.
Which I think is very illuminating to who Todd Monken is today, because, like, I think what JT Daniels was supposed to be the guy there at Georgia.
Yeah, he was.
When he was there, right?
Yeah.
He's a statuesque pocket passer, 5-star guy, and he went with little itty bitty Stetson Bennett. Right, like, because he can move, he can scoot, he can create some explosives, right? Which I think he's going to value from the quarterback position. That's what makes me wonder if Todd is going to be willing to branch out and try to bring in, you know, somebody who has a more explosive profile at the quarterback position to kind of compete.
Snoop Huntley?
Nah, not Snoop. Well, I mean, it could be Snoop.
Could be Snoop. Why you saying it like that?
Well, I don't think he was the biggest fan of Snoop, is my thing. Yeah. Okay. Because, like, you look at, they brought in Cooper Rush, right? Like, and I don't know whose decision that was. That feels like a hardball decision to me. But
see who came back and came back.
They brought back Snoop
and won some. I think he might have won 1 or 2 games.
You know, he kept them alive in the playoff run for a little bit. Yeah. But you know, maybe it could be Snoop. Maybe they make a move out there for Justin Fields if he becomes available. Maybe they make a move to see what's up with Anthony Richardson. Like.
That's it. Anthony Richardson is the guy that for a lot of I knew he wasn't going to be, and it's just because he's young. Like he's a young guy that he got to mature and all of those things, but the physical talent is there. Like I just think he needed more experience and he needed time in the league to see how things work to learn the NFL. So like he's going to be one of those guys that might go become a retread whenever he does. I think he needs to go to quarterback rehab, which is Minnesota, San Francisco, or LA. If he does that, I think he will actually ultimately turn his career around.
I think what's interesting about him, because I was talking to somebody who talked to Jordan Palmer way back in the day about Sam Darnold. And the thing that Jordan Palmer was with Sam Darnold was like he was super young coming out, and he was like, hey, this guy hasn't been through anything. Correct. Right? And he's just not going to be ready for the first team that takes him. And I wonder if that could be the case with Anthony Richardson, right? You're just kind of betting on like, okay, maybe the trade wakes him up a little bit, right? Like kind of the same thing that happened with Baker, even though it took Baker a trade and a cut and then another release, okay? like to get that point, you know? But some guys, they need to
point all that out. A trade, a cut, and a release.
Because people act like he went straight from Cleveland to Tampa Bay.
They do act like that, don't they?
You would never think that he went 2 other places in between. They were like, oh, look at the Browns.
Like, definitely act like the Panthers and Rams didn't have.
Yeah, and it like the Carolina Panthers didn't have Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield on the roster at the same time, and they played P.J. Walker over him, over both of them. Over both of them. We the only one that get the jokes, though. Yeah, they played P.J. Philip Walker, who is now a backup in the Canadian Football League, XFL legend, though. You know, I'll never forget 2020 XFL. But that's who they played over.
St. Louis, wasn't he?
No, Houston. It was appointment television. That was great. He had Deshaun Watson in his stands going crazy. Like he was hooping. Never seen nothing like it. Never will see anything like it again. But that's who they played over both of them. But we don't act like that happened. We got to act like it was only the Browns that could have had a better outcome with Baker Mayfield. Like we the only ones, dog. Okay, you know, I'm just tired of being the only one. I'm like he was there too. You know, come on out, Carolina. We caught. Like.
It's because you know why? Because Carolina has moved on and found another quarterback, and the Browns is.
They drafted the 5'10" dude, #1 overall. We still got to hear it.
He just went to the playoffs. He was a Jimmy Horn Jr. drop away from potentially winning the game.
They went to the playoffs with the under 500 record. Okay,
yeah, that's fair.
It's not the pinnacle of success.
He almost won the game.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying. And then what they lucky CJ was out there just stanking it in the playoffs, or else they would have more questions to answer. But they took the dude who looked like somebody going to school when he showed up to the building.
So he not a franchise guy?
Who? Bryce or CJ?
Bryce. Both.
Okay, CJ, yeah, I still believe in CJ as a franchise guy. Okay. Bryce might be here in 2 years. Like, it's not above that realm. Like, do you feel better about Bryce now than you felt about 2 or 2 years ago? I don't.
He is definitely a franchise tag guy. That's it's ultimately gonna come down to him being tagged. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey man, I feel like more teams should let more quarterbacks hit the streets because I'm not paying $55 million for no Bryce Young.
They do need to stop it at some point.
Yeah. Like
Kyler Murray on the move this year.
Hey, Kyler Murray and Tua. That's the best case scenario right now for Bryce, is that he gets that money and he becomes Kyler Murray and Tua in like 3 years.
Untradeable.
Like, yeah. Well, guess we playing him. Like that. Yeah. Again, we get all the smoke. They get nothing. Like
he might be here.
Yes, bro. We might be talking about, should we trade for Bryce Young next year? That's not crazy.
It's not crazy to think at all, honestly. I hope that ain't the case. I really do.
I hope he's successful too. I loved watching him in college, but hey, man, we got to be real about what it's been. Andy Dalton has outperformed him twice in his career. Like,
yeah, he did.
Like, I don't like to be.
He got the way he ended the season. He got to be like that for 17 games.
Look, I always get in trouble with people because people like to be hopeful about quarterback. I've been through enough to where I don't care for hopeful at quarterback. I want to know. Like,
right now.
Yeah, I ain't trying to sit here. Oh, well, I hope he improves. Nah, dog. It's
gonna be a year for you, then.
Hey, this is why everybody been mad at me all year. Okay, like
good for you, boy.
People out here trying to, let's be hopeful about Shadur. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm throwing stuff out there and seeing if he could get over it.
The city needs Shadur to be good. Think about this. You have Shadur Sanders, James Harden, and LeBron back in Cleveland next year. Man, city be on fire. City be on fire.
Nothing made you nervous about saying that combination of names. Like nothing.
We are. It's cute. This is where we are. That's where we are. That's where we are.
Hey, man, James Harden.
You just got to accept it.
We got a 37-year-old, a 45-year-old, and then Shadur Sanders. Yep. That's what the hopes of the city are put on right now.
Hey, it might happen. It could work. It could work.
Hey, I hope so, but I'm not much for hope at quarterback. Okay, I've been hoping for quarterback, TYVIS, for 25 years.
Hey, have you heard of the Sleeper app? It is a place where you can go to play fantasy football. It's also a place you can go to do picks. You can put your knowledge on the line, make some picks, and see who knows ball the most, and maybe even, be rewarded for your knowledge. Go on the Sleeper app. Make sure you sign up using the promo code WORSTTAKE, and you'll get a 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code WORSTTAKE. Make sure you check out the Sleeper app.
What quarterback do you realistically think would be best for Todd Monken? Of all the people that's available, like Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, Mac Jones, Malik Willis.
We could take Mac Jones off the list.
Well, yeah, I just seen it. They said they ain't trading him.
Yeah.
Or do you just keep what you got?
I think
you draft Todd Simpson. What you got?
Oh God. Okay. So I don't think I draft, because I'd rather, for me, like the math is, if I got to take a flyer on somebody, you're taking a flyer on Ty, that would be a first round pick, right? Mm-hmm. I'd rather see if I can get Anthony Richardson for a 4 for a 5th.
Okay.
Because I think the upside with Anthony Richardson is better, and he's the same age or younger than Ty, right? I think he would be the youngest quarterback on the Browns roster if he was brought here. So I think Anthony Richardson, because I think the value of him and the age and the potential is there. And then you do have Shadur there. Like, if he can beat out Shadur, then we'll roll with it, see what happens. If Shadur beats him out, we'll roll with Shadur and see what happens there. Like, I think that's a pretty fair way to play it. I wonder how intrigued they are in like a JJ McCarthy if he becomes available.
You hired JJ McCarthy?
No, I'm not. Me personally, I would not be like. I'm trying to look from their perspective, TYVIS. Like,
I thought you were saying it like you wanted. I was gonna be like, oh, you wanted. You're in the minority.
Nah.
You was gonna be the first person I met that was high on JJ. Go ahead.
No, but I do want to entertain the possibility that they are high on JJ potentially. Right? Quincy is a former Browns assistant.
And that's
that
why
made
he
that
got
selection.
fired. That's why he got fired.
Well, that amongst many other things, right? Lewis Seen, like you look at them drafts that they had out there in Minnesota, whoo, they was bad. Stanky. I did a breakdown of last year, like of all of the draft picks that Minnesota had done, because I thought they did a good job because they had such a good record last year. And I was like, well, AB is clearly better than Quincy. Like, even when it comes to the draft stuff, his draft at AV was like negative 550 or something. Like, it was something ridiculous where I'm like, oh, he's terrible at drafting. Like, he's bad. I don't even want him to come back.
So when somebody brought that up, like none of his players are like Pro Bowl or all pro. Like, let me go look at his last couple drafts, and I was like, yeah, it is kind of bad.
It's not even like they got solid players, but they not all pro players. Like, because people were on that with like Andrew Berry, but I'm like, man, Grant Delp is good. Like, you know, they got some starters there. Nah, dog, this was like. There was like Lewis Seen in the first. I forget they got it was bad. It was bad. I'm like, damn, they cut some of these dudes. Like,
yeah.
But again, trying to put myself in the position of thinking about the Browns and what they want. Young player in JJ McCarthy who does have that athletic ability, has that off schedule ability. I would really want to know what they think of JJ McCarthy. Me personally, I think this is like less polished Daniel Jones. But and the polish is kind of what made Daniel Jones a prospect, right? Like, but you know, I'm not that intrigued by it, but I wonder if they are, because it might be a chance to get a young player that they can consider.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they trade for JJ McCarthy, this city is they gonna burn the place down. I'm gonna just tell you that now. They gonna burn the city down.
Well, this is my other concern, right? Malik Willis is who a lot of people would say, hey, look, the Browns should go after somebody like Malik Willis. He's athletic. He has a big arm. You know, maybe some off-schedule ability there. My concern with Malik Willis is, hey, man.
He's 6'1".
You're gonna get, well, I'm not even the height. We know how passionate Shador's fans are, right? Like, I think we have all experienced this, positive and negative. You gonna bring in somebody with less starts and pay them $40 million? Think that shit's just not going? No, nobody gonna say nothing. That's just gonna go over. Yeah, like he's gonna be the guaranteed starter. We just gonna be like, all right, like that's go. That's that. I think that is the people part of this that I don't think anybody has thought of. Right? You bring in like Anthony Richardson. It's like, okay, he's just competing.
Yeah.
People can live with that.
Yeah,
people can live with that, right? Because most of the folks, like, you know, there's the crazies online that will say some ridiculous shit about Shadur, but like most people are okay with the idea of him having to compete, right? Like that's not an offensive suggestion that he has to compete, and they'll look at Anthony Richardson as light work because they're very confident. Sure, okay, let's do it. Pay him Malik Willis $45 million.
Ain't nobody paying Malik Willis $45 million.
45 over 2.
They might do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 45 over 2.
I think that might be right.
You've had to hear everybody tell you Shadur has to play more games. He's not proven yet. And then the Browns go out and pay a dude who started less than him.
I'm trying to figure out who would pay him.
I think it's going to be Miami. They got all them Green Bay assistants over there.
Because Halfley, my boy Half, just worked with him. Well, it was just in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Dude, can they afford that? Because that's what I don't understand. The money thing is the part that gets
me. They'll make that work. They'll kick some shit down the line, pay it off in 2020, 2035. That's not the issue. Financially, nothing about this on paper is the issue, TYVIS. Like, we saw what Dylan went through, and that's all because he was drafted before Shadur. On the same team as him.
True.
Man got booed every time. you would be creating a similar thing for
Man,
Malik Willis at $22 million.
You got 2 quarterbacks on this roster that if they go out there, it's going to get booed. Deshaun and
Yeah, one got to go. And Deshaun can't go nowhere. You feel me? Like,
one gotta go.
one gotta go. One's gotta go.
So if Shadur ever goes down, no matter what, the next person get booed.
Yeah. I'm not. We shouldn't be doing that. Like, like. Would you feel better about Anthony Richardson coming in versus Dylan Gabriel? I would.
I would
feel much
for
better.
sure. I'd be like, you know what? This might be the comeback story right here.
Now, Anthony Richardson also might get injured during training camp, right? Like, that's been his big problem, too, his availability.
He gonna tap out when he tired.
Hey, man.
That was the wildest.
That's crazy.
That was the wildest thing I ever heard in my life. Third down, you tapped out? Oh, man, you the quarterback.
Somebody got to tell him. Somebody got to tell him he can't do that.
You know what, though? It's the coach's fault for allowing it to happen. That's that really.
It's every coach he's ever had's fault.
I would have said to him, as the head coach, I would have been like, nah, bro, you can't.
It is every coach he's ever had.
I would have smooth act like I didn't hear it. You know, when you seen Boys in the Hood where Ashtray was like, "Let me out," and he ignored him the first time. That's what I would.
I would have. See, you're polite. I would have called timeout and been like, "What the fuck do you think you doing?" I would have wasted the timeout. I'll be honest. Like, I see my quarterback tap on I'm calling timeout, and I'm having a conversation about expectations right now in front of everybody. Like, what? What? Yeah. They're like, oh, no, timeout. And you're going to see me pink mad. Like, you know when coaches get mad, they be all pink and shit.
You bought him the time he need.
Yeah, I'll let you get the rest. You want to rest? I'll give you a break. You ain't gonna never want it again.
That was that. I blame the coach. He shouldn't have let him come out.
Nobody's ever given that young man a come to Jesus moment, and it shows sometimes, right? Like you should have like time when you was at our, you had you got to. Todd Monken might be willing to give him that, right?
Todd Monken might be what he need.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like when you were playing, you had the fear of God about going like this, right? Like because Urban Meyer,
I wouldn't do that. No,
Urban Meyer be there. You don't tap out. You tap out. You can walk off the practice facility. I remember hearing him in them all access clips talk about taking your stripes and shit. Nah. Like that's a tone has to be set about what is acceptable.
Shane Steichen shouldn't have allowed that to happen. I'm a down that hill.
Yeah. Will Muschamp, was that his coach at college? Was it Will Muschamp?
Was it Will Muschamp at the time? I think.
I blame him too because there ain't no way this expectation started in the pros. Okay,
that's fair. Yeah, somebody let him do that before. He should have. He did that. I really can't. That was
like, man, you'll call some run plays if you tired. Okay, but don't tell the defense, son. Like that you coming out the game. You want to lead the game?
I wish I could have been on the field. I'd have been like, did he really just do that?
Look, was not a project you could bring over with Kevin because Kevin was letting DeJuan Jones sub out. Like
he was actively rotating the guard. Something I've never heard of. KT Levison and Cornelius Lucas was rotating this season. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, look, it's not like a concept that I have the biggest issue with because I do think keeping offensive linemen fresh is something that people should evaluate more. But
I've never heard of it. I ain't saying
it just don't have. Yeah, I'm just saying the reasons why they did it or why I have the issue is because like, oh, he's not in shape, and that's just come on, dog. Like,
that's his own fault.
Yeah, because they were still running the same plays with the wide. It's just he was tired. That's kind of crazy to me. Where were we? We got off track. We was talking about
We was talking about Todd Monken.
Todd Monken. Okay, Todd Monken.
But I think we answered the question. I think
Yeah.
we answered I don't know how we got to where we got.
Yeah, but I think his resume is what makes me comfortable, right? That he has demonstrated an ability to have success at multiple different places and make a difference. And like even with the elite guys that he coached, because I know people go like, oh, well, he was in an elite situation at Georgia, in a high level situation with the Ravens. But it's like, hey, he took Georgia to heights that they weren't reaching before he got there.
Yep.
And have not reached after.
True.
And that Ravens offense, Lamar as a passer, he reached heights that he wasn't reaching. And even Derrick Henry, right? Reached some, I think he got a career high or got close to a career high.
Didn't Lamar had 41 touchdowns and 4 picks one year, right?
4,000. Yeah, Todd Monken. Yeah. Should have won his second. Well, did he get his second MVP?
No, he did. Yeah, he won his second MVP. Should have won the third one last year, but they gave it to Josh Allen.
Which
last year was the year I think he had 41 and 14.
Which is also a credit to Todd Monken.
That's ridiculous.
Which is a credit to Todd Monken because both the years that Lamar was healthy with him, Lamar should have won the MVP. So that speaks to the quality of work that he's done over there, and that he can elevate the position because I think Jimmy was fixated on. He's like he won with Nick Mullins and Jameis Winston and Stetson Bennett, and he ain't mentioned none of the good quarterbacks he played with, and that told me everything about where they think that quarterback room is.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's because that's true. I mean, it's just one of those things that I just don't think you could fix this year. I really don't. I just don't think. I think this is not a great year for quarterback free agencies. First of all, if you're a good quarterback, you're not going to hit free agency anyways. And I just don't think the trade candidates is good enough. Like nobody really moves the needles. And then you're settling if you want Malik Willis. Like, so I think you just kind of just work with what you got and just build up everything else and then try to get the franchise guy. If Shadur isn't the answer, just get the guy next year.
I think if you're the Browns, just focus on, because like there was a point where I thought you could get the number 1 overall pick. If you could get that, okay, cool. That's a path, right?
Yeah, all they had to do was lose.
And then I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, all they had to do was lose them 2 games, and then they could be talking about Mendoza. I wonder if they do hire Todd Monken if that's the case. Like I think that might have swung the needle towards Jim Schwartz because he would have ran something a little bit more. I don't know. I think they might have gone young guy or maybe something else like that. Somebody who's gonna run some more RPO action or something like that.
Where are you on Fernando, anyways?
I like Mendoza, man. I like that he shows up in the fourth quarter of all these games. I think that is the one translatable ability that he has that could make him elite. Very accurate thrower. And what I really like about him is like you can see this with some quarterbacks. Some quarterbacks don't have like a thing they can go to other than like running, like if they're athletic, right? Mm-hmm. When shit got tough for him and the defense was making stuff difficult, he had multiple things he could go to and rely upon as a quarterback just from dropping back, right? Mm-hmm. That fade ball, for example, right? I think he hit one against Ohio State, the deep 9 in the middle of the field. Yeah, nailing cough. Like he has that stuff that you would want. It's like watching a point guard with a bag. It's like, okay, he's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he can get to the hoop when he needs to. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where he is. And I think that skill is going to translate to a lot of different offenses that he can go into. Probably going to be, I don't know how slow he's going to start out there in Las Vegas because it's such a bad situation there. But I would have been fine with taking the shot at 1 with him. But you didn't get that opportunity. Now you got to change course. I think if you're the Browns, what you have to do is just make yourself the best landing spot possible for a quarterback, whether it be, hey, you're at 10 or 15 and you trade up to 8 and you get a Lenore Sellers or a DJ Lagway, one of these very talented guys that need some polish, right? And maybe you could be in a position to let them sit for a little bit before they go out there and play. And then when they do play, they're playing in a good situation. Or if it's like somebody becomes available, somebody becomes disgruntled, and then you make that move. Now, how much of an appetite is the front office going to have for that when Deshaun Watson, they're just going to clear that failure off the books? I don't know. But I think that's the best path forward is, okay, you're not going to – they're too talented defensively to naturally get a top 2 pick, in my opinion. Like that opportunity is not going to come by. So, and they're only going to get better. Carson Schwarzenegger is going to get better. Mason Graham's going to get better, right? Like, Tyson Campbell, another year in this defense, probably going to get better. So if you're the Browns, it has to become a focus on how do we just make this as easy as a team to play quarterback for is possible, so that the demand for a quarterback isn't that they have to go all the way up and get the best prospect possible who can overcome the most stuff. It's, hey, maybe somebody a little bit more fragile of a development timeline for them, but we have the things that can nurture them correctly. So I think that's probably the best way forward, right? Like that's what happened with Sam Darnold. Went to two places where the defense was really built. They had some pieces on offense. He was able to have some success, carried that confidence in over to other places, and then was able to become Sam Darnold. Maybe that's our story with another retread or, a former top 10 pick that becomes available. Maybe it's Bryce Young, as we alluded to earlier, right? Like, but I think we need to be open to those kind of opportunities are more likely for the Browns than straight up just getting the guy with the pick. Because Myles Garrett, look, he's going to have another 20-sack season, dog. Like
that's what he said. He said if he ain't break it this year, he's just going to break it next year.
No, I remember the first day I was at camp and I saw Myles Garrett out there. I'm like, hey, man, he looks better than before. Like, I've seen Myles at camp. He looks like he took a leap from where he was in 2023, and he won Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. Like it was clear. I'm like, oh, this is the best he's ever looked. So yeah, he's not declining in play anytime soon. So yeah, I think that's kind of has to be the focus, and I think that's why they got Todd, because they think that Todd can create a floor at the quarterback position and maybe identify somebody who could be a bridge, and that can put him in position in 2027 to take a chance on somebody who might not be ready built, but you can Jordan Love your way into a franchise quarterback.
Jordan Love your way.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Like you gotta figure out something, because like even like my thing with Shadur is like I don't know how ready he's gonna be even this year. Like he needs some time to bake in the oven. Like he might be one of the dudes that pop up when he's 29 and he's ready. Like there's a lot of stuff in his game he's just got to get rid of.
It's the turnovers. I think and it's got to be more consistent. I think like
he has to have a better knack for understanding. How do I put this? Sometimes it's like,
make sure you say it right. Now hold on, let's put the.
They gonna hate it no matter what I say because it's not a compliment. But like sometimes I question whether Shador's aware that there's like this isn't practice. This is a game, right? Like you don't get the ball back after you make that decision sometimes, because there were a couple of interceptions he threw in the fourth quarter of games when the Browns were up that I can't fathom why he would make that decision knowing the situation in the game. Right. That the game awareness is what concerns me with him too. Like he's not very aware of the situation in the game, and the type of quarterback he is, we're talking about game managing. Right.
But how much of that, I agree with that. I think where he could be helped with that is, I wonder how many times like in the headset is, hey, just to let you know, fourth quarter, we got the lead. Don't force nothing, like that type of talk before you sit him out there. You think that's being related? Or do you think he's just such a, I'm trying to make a play, that he just completely ignores that?
Yeah. Like, I think instinct takes over.
Fair. No, it's fair. Because he's always come off as a guy that's, I'm trying to make a play no matter what type thing.
Yeah, like he's a natural playmaker, and I've watched him when he was at Jackson State. I watched him when he's at Colorado. I've watched him as a Brown. He's a natural playmaker who, you could feel some quarterbacks, they're okay with being boring, right? Like Tom Brady is the most okay doing some boring ass shit all game.
I beat you a check now.
Yeah, that's Tom Brady's game. It's like, I'm going to bore TYVIS to death. And then when I can tell he bored, he not running to his spot, he's like, they going to throw. That's when I'm going to hit him with the move and then get the touchdown, right? Like that was Tom Brady's shit. He loved that shit. You can feel when you watch him, and I think Cam Ward is like this too. you could feel the I want to make a play, right? Just building up. When he's doing check down. There's 3 and out here. You could just feel him wanting to go and say, fuck it, I'm going to make a play. And sometimes that happens because there'd be screens being called sometimes, TYVIS, he hold the ball. And I'm like, that can't be because you're reading it. Like, and I don't know how easy that is to get out of your system when that's how you've played football your entire life.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that might take a while, right? Like,
but he ain't got that much time. He got like this year, and it's got to be this year. If it's not this year, I don't know what it's going to be.
In Cleveland, yes, he has this year.
In Cleveland,
yes. My argument has been, it's probably going to be team 2 or 3 that get him. That get a good result out of him.
Yeah, and
that's just sometimes how it happens.
That's just how. That's kind of the new wave. That's kind of the new wave, to be honest with you.
Hey man, these kids ain't going through enough shit.
Clearly,
it
takes more time than you think.
They ain't being told no enough. I hate to sound like a boomer, but that's part of like when you have to appease somebody for their monetary value. Like you're not going to be as comfortable saying no to them as you are when the guy's option is go back to the dorm room.
So ultimately, what do you do at 6 in 24? If you was making the pick, what would you do?
It depends on who's willing to trade up with me and how far back I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to go back past 12 because I want to either get Mal Noah or Makai Lemon or Carnell Tate, one of them 3 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about Denzel Boston? Have you been able to look at him yet?
I looked at his tape. I wasn't really impressed.
Okay.
He's a big wide receiver, though. He's
big body guy. Yeah.
I don't know if he's got like the speed and all those things. Like I watched him at Washington, obviously, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not. Also, I put it to you this way: he's a receiver 2. He's not a receiver 1.
I hope that they could do something in the offseason. Like I know a lot of people talk about Brian Thomas Jr. I have a hot take that I'm willing to put my name on. That I'm like, this is what I think they should do.
Well, Marvin Harrison.
Not that Marvin. I want Marvin Mims.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, that's my guy, right?
Like I think. Speed, huh?
Well, I like that. I think he's misused in Denver because they use him as a gadget guy, and I think he could do that. But I think where he shines is he's such a good get up and go get him ball guy. Even at his height, he's 6 foot. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he could just go up there and make a play. And I would like to see what that looks like if somebody gave him that opportunity. I don't think he'd be that expensive. I don't think you have to worry about like a big extension for him. It doesn't look like Denver values him that much because they always drafted some Oregon receiver to take his spot. So all the guy does is he makes big plays consistently. That's what he did at Oklahoma. I feel like that's a nice compliment you can have. He doesn't have to be in the slot. I know people think because he's small, he does, but it's kind of like with Elijah Moore, where he was a smaller guy who could play outside, but I think he's more of a natural playmaker than Moore. Moore needed the ball in his hand. I think he can make plays with the ball in the air. And I think that can shift some pieces into the right position, and then it gives you more flexibility on what you can go with in the draft. Because, like, I would like to get Makai Lemon, but I don't know if you can go and have the luxury of getting Makai Lemon when Jerry Jeudy is the other wide receiver on your roster and it's Cedric Tillman who might get hurt. Like, are you really going to be able to put Makai Lemon in the spots that you want him to consistently all season, or are you always going to be compromised?
Would you take 2 receivers in the first round, or would you go receiver, tackle, or tackle, receiver, whatever?
I have to watch more Mal Noah to know how I feel about him playing tackle in the NFL because I think he's probably going to be a guard at the next level.
A lot of people
yeah, I got to see how I feel about it, right? Because that's what I've talked to.
Isn't he projected to go 3rd to Cardinals right now?
He's all over the place. Some people have him at 14. Some people have him at 3. If he can play tackle, he'll go early.
Absolutely.
Right. Because there's just not that many. I don't think there's really even a true tackle in this class.
Are you comfortable moving him to left tackle even though he plays right?
Hey, bro, he's gonna have to.
See the Jed Wills got me scared with that, man.
I don't think Jed Wills' issue was that he moved from right to left. like I don't think that was Jed's issue as much as the man took a year off of football. I think Jed was good at football his entire life, and he liked being good at football. And then he got to a place where it's like, hey, you're not as good at football as these other dudes, and it stopped being fun to Jed.
Well, Jed at the house.
Jed chilling. Also, I think a unique problem that the Browns have that they have to plan for if they draft a tackle is, I don't think Myles Garrett is good for these young boys' development. I don't think it's good to traumatize these tackles. Yeah. Like, imagine you try to learn how to play corner, and they're like, all right, TYVIS, guard Calvin. You know how many bad habits you going to learn because it help you with Calvin? That's not going to help you with everybody else on the roster.
That's fair.
I know people be like iron sharpen iron, but I'm like, sometimes iron cuts things.
That's fair. Miles, I mean, yeah. Miles, like, I don't stand a chance in the league.
Miles will make you false start a lot, which what we've been dealing with at tackle, ton of false starts.
But you'll also not see anything worse than that on Sunday. Nothing should shock you on Sunday.
It don't matter if you shocked or not. If you shell shocked, TYVIS.
Oh my god!
Like, I get we try to like make this. Look, if I had to guard Michael Jordan in his prime every day when I went to the rec, you know what would happen? I might be better at basketball, but I might never want to play basketball again. like
no, because
for real,
the competitor in you is gonna be like, today is the day. I'm gonna clamp him today.
If you had to go out and try to tackle Saquon Barkley every day.
I watched plenty of people tackle Saquon. That's easy.
Okay. They like, all right, TYVIS, we want you to get out there in space, one-on-one drill every day with Saquon. And he just hurdle you every day.
I know the hurdle coming.
yeah. And you know it's coming, and he still gets you.
No, that's ridiculous.
This is what Miles does to people. Like, you know he about the Euro. You sitting there in your set. He about the Euro. I know he about to do the Euro. You get ready for the Euro. You get on your second foot, he gone.
Well, and that's why they don't. He's not even live. Don't even.
You just doing this.
They be in practice. Like, don't even pay attention to him.
He got to practice against somebody. Like, look. Next thing you know, you blocking against everybody like it's Miles. So now you oversetting. Now you cooked.
He the reason he led to Jed's demise.
Look, I make this point all the time. Jed Will's career was going to a normal trajectory, TYVIS. This shit was on a normal trajectory. And then Myles Garrett turned into an alien in 2023. He turned into an alien in 2023. And then Jed Will's career went to shit. Right. Like, you go when Miles became Miles.
That's Jed's fault. That's Jed's fault.
And then it's yeah. Because what does everybody who blocks this man in practice say that's on a different team? They had the dude from the Eagles out there. He's like, I'm glad practice is only 2 days, mate. Like, I don't know how somebody does that daily. You know Miles be mad 2 in the week. The offense ain't doing shit. He about to win 3 defensive player of the year, but he got 5 wins on the nah, man, that's not gonna help nobody. Like,
I don't know what y'all want him to do.
Hey man, who sparred like this is the question I gotta ask you. Did the dude who sparred with Mike Tyson in the late 80s and early 90s ever turn into something?
No.
Iron sharpen iron though, right? Nothing should surprise him. Nothing should surprise him. He going up against Mike. No, that man's career ended the day he said he sparred Mike every day. Like,
he probably quit. He probably like, yeah, this
is what happens.
This ain't for me.
Bro, you asking these dudes to spar with Mike Tyson in his prime every day, and we like, that's not going to affect development.
I wonder if it was hard for Mike to get a sparring partner. Now,
you wonder? Would you have done it?
No. Are you crazy?
Okay. If you are an NFL world-class athlete, you wouldn't have done it. Like, yeah, nobody doing that.
Like, not at all.
You find some way to do something else. No, I'll play the cello.
Buster Douglas would have did it.
Huh?
The Columbus legend Buster Douglas would have did it.
Nah, he was trying to fight Mike the one time. Right? Like, did he ever fight Mike twice? I think he did. He lost the second time, right?
Did he?
I don't know. He
Did
lost that belt
boys?
quick. I do think they got to figure out some kind of plan there. And it's going to be interesting how Todd Monken handles that because Miles got to practice.
Yes, he
But
did. Hey, he lost the next fight, too. He beat Mike and then lost the very next fight to Evander Holyfield. The man was the champ for, he was only the champ for 9 months.
Yeah, my dad
No,
said
8 months.
Yeah, every athlete that ever got a contract and was a good actor, he'd be like Buster Douglas. That's how I know about Buster Douglas. But yeah, he's got to practice against somebody, and whoever he's practicing against, he's going to do damage to.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's true.
And like none of these tackle prospects are like, oh man, look, he's a special tackle. These are all guys that were like, he probably should play guard.
Yeah, and I think the one dude from Utah is the only guy. I think the Spencer Fano guy, but I think he plays right tackle. What is that?
Yeah, and they think he should kick inside the guard. I think Lomu's the only like person that I haven't heard people say should play guard, but they also don't think he should go early.
And then that's the dude from Alabama, Proctor.
Yeah, they definitely think he should be guard because he's too big.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I figured he'd go to like Detroit or Chicago. Ben Johnson, he'd be catching screens and stuff. That type of stuff out there.
Do some wacky shit. Yeah. That's but Todd Monken, we like it.
Yes. Todd Monken, I think it's going to go well. I think that it's not, you don't get the things that you want, but you sometimes get the things you need. And I think he's exactly what this Browns roster need from what it is and where it's at.